Hi, Tim Yao here, Community Pioneer in Roundhouse Park and Cringleford, and welcome to this week's edition of Cringleford Assembly. Well, you might be wondering why I've got a background of a desert behind me. Well, I'll get to that later. But to start us off this week, this period of Lent we find ourselves in, we've got a song by David Bowie from 1971. It's Changes, but it's a cover version by a guy called Mike Garson and Katie Tunstall. It's coming up right now. I hope you enjoy it.
Changes, turn and face the strange. Changes, don't wanna be a richer man. Changes, turn and face the strange. Changes, just gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't chase time.
Hi, well, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a tribute by Katie Tunstall from the 2020 Detour Online Festival. David Bowie was singing there about someone who really wanted to change their life and needed to make that change in themselves. I wonder if you're a person who is looking to change at the moment, and what are you doing to do something about it? So why am I in this desert background? Well, this is a picture of the Judean wilderness in Israel, and it's a place where Jesus, when he was about 30 years old, wandered into the wilderness for the Bible tells us for 40 days. And so for Christians around the world who celebrate Lent, it's a time when they try and capture some of the things that Jesus went through himself. So Lent is a time of introspection, of reflection on yourself, on where you're up to, and on your life. It's a time of repenting, which means kind of turning around, changing your attitudes. I was doing one thing, I was acting in a certain way, I was thinking in a certain way, and I want to change that around and be different. Something about changing your life. And the other part of that Lenten thing is about preparation, preparing yourself for the celebration of Easter. And Easter is all about a new life, a new start, new beginnings. So for me, Lent is about a time of preparation for a new start, a time for a change. Historically, during Lent, people have tried to implement change in their lives by doing several things. One of them is about fasting. Now, I know there's lots of kind of faddy diets out at the moment about fasting, the 5-2 diet. But fasting is about, giving something up, but it's not always about food. There is a tradition of partial fast, giving up something you enjoy, like something like meat or sweets or something like that. And to the outsider, it looks like it's just about self-punishment, like, I want to kind of feel the pain. But really, it's about making space, getting rid of distractions, the things that we usually fill our lives up. It's kind of, okay, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to do something else instead. And that's the bit that I'm most interested in about that change we can make in our lives. Yes, sometimes people fast the whole meal, or maybe fast for a whole period. Jesus was supposed to have fasted for 40 days. So in this Lent period, it's a time of looking at ourselves, but also looking to the example of Jesus. Also, kind of when we take away those distractions, what are we going to fill it up with? Are we just going to go like, oh, it's so hard, I'm really killing this Lent, I'm really doing well this time? But it's not about that. It's not about yourself. It's about what are you going to fill that gap in when we take away those distractions. And some people do it through spiritual practices. Some people kind of read stuff, and some people take up new activities, like them helping people or giving their time or the energy or the money to things. So it's about taking away kind of distractions and filling in it with action, or as I like to put it, heavenly actions over earthly distractions. Heavenly actions over earthly distractions. I wonder if there's something in your life you want to change at the moment. If there's something about you think, I really want to shift that. Are you willing to give it the attention it needs? Are you willing to get rid of stuff, but also fill it in with other stuff to help you make that change in your life? In Lent, people abstain from lots of things. And abstinence is not something we really celebrate in our culture. It's all about embracing and being passionate and enjoying the best of it and really, going for it. But abstinence is about saying, look, this thing I don't want it to dominate me. This thing is, I don't want it to be the most important thing in my life, whatever that thing is. And yes, you know, it can be food, but it could be other things. Maybe it's your social media usage. Maybe it's the time you spend at work. You know, maybe you're a bit of a workaholic. Maybe it's the drink, or maybe it's, you know, something else. Maybe it's a relationship that's just completely taken over your life. You know, what is it in your life that you know, you need to get hold of, you need to get some control of? It's taking hold of you. And, you know, and if you think about that thing, and if you can abstain from it to get a balance, what are you going to fill your life with instead? You know, to finish with, Pope Francis, who's the head of the Catholic Church, said some things about Lent. And, you know, you'd expect him to say that because, you know, he's obviously the Pope. But he said these words in 2017. He said, "Fast from hurting words and say kind words. Fast from sadness and be filled with gratitude. Fast from anger and be filled with patience. Fast from pessimism and be filled with hope. Fast from worries and have trust in God. Fast from complaints and contemplate simplicity. Fast from pressures and be prayerful. Fast from bitterness and fill your hearts with joy. Fast from selfishness and be compassionate to others. Fast from grudges and be reconciled. And fast from words and be silent so you can listen." Well, whatever you're doing and however you're going to do Lent this year, if you do Lent at all, I wonder if there's some wisdom in those words there for you. I know there is for me. I wonder if there's some things that you maybe need to abstain from, so you can get a fuller and better life. Well, that's it for this week on Cringleford Assembly. If I don't see you soon, I'll see you next time. Bye.